Spotlight on Service is sponsored by Otco Home Appliances. Luxury lives here.
Well, we're celebrating our nation's 250th birthday by honoring everyday Americans. We call it Red, White, and You.
It is the perfect way to honor veterans in the St. Louis area who have served their country. Steve Savard joins us now with tonight's Spotlight on Service.
I'm going to introduce you in a moment to a father and a daughter teaming up to help the veterans' recovery. After graduating Webster Groves High School, John Stillman enlisted in the Army. He wanted to help the American war efforts in Vietnam as a member of the 101st Airborne Division. Reality set in quickly after John's arrival in Vietnam in late 1967. And he was still struggling with the realities of brutal warfare 50 years later when his daughter Lori suggested she help John write a book about his combat tour. Jumping from Helicopters, a Vietnam memoir, has received multiple awards and been on the Amazon bestseller list. But what it's done for John and the Stillman family beats any critical acclaim.
First mission out, a couple weeks in country. We went on the in-country, supposed to be in-country training, secure area. It was not a secure area. We had guys killed, helicopter shot down in the air, pilots, door gunners dead, and I thought, how can we make it for a whole year like this?
John did make it through his year-long tour without serious injury, although a North Vietnamese soldier suddenly emerging from a foxhole could have ended John's tour halfway through.
And he popped up out of it, took the M16 with a full magazine of 20 rounds in it, on automatic, pulled the trigger, and the first round jammed. Otherwise, there would have been 20 bullets coming at me. And the guy next to me was looking the direction towards him, and he was the one that killed him. So, yeah, that was close. When I'm in Vietnam, I was asking my girlfriend for a picture they have of her, and a few weeks later, I get this picture. And this exact picture. It's been in my wallet since Vietnam.
John made it back home to Ree, landing in the States with undiagnosed internal bleeding from parasites. Doctors eventually cured that, but had no cure for PTSD. John struggled for decades before seeking counseling in 2012. A year later, his daughter Lori, a professional writer, approached John about writing a book.
I just thought, he has a story to tell. And so I asked him if he wanted to tell his story, and he gave me an unemotional sure.
You remember that?
Yes.
She didn't have to talk you into it. You just...
No, I have a bad track record of volunteering.
The day after he told me that he agreed to do it, he then informed me that he had kept a journal when he was in Vietnam that I had no clue that he had. And my mother at the same lunch that we were having goes, well, I kept every letter that he wrote. So I had all the information I needed at my fingertips.
But what Lori thought would be a 6-month endeavor turned into an emotionally charged 6-year mission. At one point, she almost called off their once-a-week meetings. We
got about, I don't know, the first 6 months into it, and I thought I made a mistake. I had made him worse. I hadn't made him better. The nightmares, the anger, as he was trying to talk about things, I thought I did something terrible, and now I'm stuck because now we're in the middle of it. But we pushed through.
John almost called it all off just a week before the book was to be published in 2018. Now he's glad he pushed through.
I didn't think Vietnam veterans or any veteran would want to read the book, and I sure didn't think women would want to read it. And I was totally wrong on both.
What'd you learn about your father in this process?
I learned he's courageous, not only for what he did, but to be able to tell his story. So I learned that he's not afraid of a fight, that he will fight for whatever is important to him and whatever is important for others. And I learned that he has empathy for so many people. He had empathy for the people in Vietnam, So there's so many different layers of emotions and compassion and things that I didn't see before.
Jumping from Helicopters sold 10,000 copies in its first year in press. The book and Lori have received numerous awards. It is still available on Amazon. John has never taken a penny from sales as a nod to his fellow Vietnam veterans. And Kelly and Mike, that photo that was in John's wallet of his wife, Rita, is 58 years old. It made it through a year of combat and much more. And John and Ree, as she's known, they've now been married 56 years, and they raised 4 children. And this is the book. It's a great read, and what a pleasure to meet.
And what a treasure trove to have a journal and those letters.
Can you believe that? All those letters. Oh, by the way.
Oh, by the way.
Right. All the letters your father wrote you from combat.
And what a great way for father and daughter to bond, too, through that project.
John said they were close to begin with, but they've become closer since.
I'll bet. Thanks, Steve.